Hi friends, happy Sunday. Thank you for joining in this morning, this afternoon, depending on your time zone. If you are joining us now or catching the replay later, I would love to know who you are. So introduce yourself in the comments below. Tell me what city you're from and feel free to tag your business Facebook page so I can check you out too. So today's conversation is about secrets for productivity, and they include preparation, priorities, and positivity. And the first part is preparing for success. So what do you want to accomplish? I really encourage you to write it down because seeing our goals in writing gives power to them and encourages us to take action. So every year I write out the big things that I want to accomplish in all the aspects of my life, both professionally and personally. Then weekly, I will write out the top 3 things that I want to accomplish, and this helps me stay focused on goals that I have and it's separate from those that are then added to my plate. And it's all about staying focused. And then in our masterminds each week, members have the opportunity to name what they will accomplish within their business, which is the maintenance aspect of it, for their business growth, and then for their well-being, which is the foundation. You have to take care of yourself in order to help your clients and to help your business grow. So again, for our mastermind members weekly, there's a fresh start that helps them name their top 3 priorities, and that's what they'll accomplish within their business for business maintenance, what they're going to accomplish for growing their business, and then what they're doing for their personal well-being, which is the foundation. And then daily, I will write out the 3 steps that I need to accomplish those weekly goals. So writing those goals out the night before helps me get a fresh start the next morning, so that way I'm not wasting time wondering what I need to accomplish or where to even start. I already have a list of exactly what I need to do to accomplish that day, and it allows me to make so much more use of my time because I know what to do. Also too, like I had mentioned previously, there's always things that are added to our plate, whether there's new ideas, new things that we learn, whether people are emailing us, asking us for responses or to complete things. And so I have a separate master list that is an Excel spreadsheet through Google Docs that has a list of all of my ideas that I gather from meetings, from resources, from learning, and then also tasks that have been assigned to me. And I dump everything into that. And then I assign each task or idea to a business category and assign a priority number to it. And what I mean by a business category is if it has something to do with marketing, that I'll put in a marketing category. If it has to do with sales or business development or team building or customer service or website development, everything's assigned a category. So that way later when I have batching where I want to work on one specific element of my business, I can go back to all the tasks that are related to that specific area and I can knock them out really quickly. So for example, last night I was doing updates on my website, and so I can quickly pull up all the tasks that I've assigned to the website and knock all those out because I'm already in that frame of mind where I'm doing the tasks that are required for that. And it helps you be way more productive. And also too, I skipped briefly from annually to weekly, but monthly I am setting my goals, and those monthly goals again are attached to my annual goals, and my weekly are pulled from those monthly, and that's part of our monthly business review. And then preparation applies to more than just goals. And so if you're watching, I encourage you to take notes because I have so much content that I am sharing with you today, and I hope that you find it helpful, but a lot of things that I hope that you will want to take action on. And moving forward, preparation applies to more than just goals. It also applies to meetings that you have, launches, commitments to clients, to team members, and to business associates. And so the big question that I have for you in preparing yourself for success is, what can you do in advance to set yourself up for success? And several questions for that is, how can I prepare for this meeting so that when I show up, I'm presenting the best version of myself? And this could be a meeting with a client. This could be a meeting with business associates. This could be a meeting with your team. But what do you need to do to make sure that that meeting goes well and you come prepared and that you are polished and able to clearly speak and get the results that you need from that meeting. That's so important. And then next question, what steps do I need to take now to build my audience within my business? So when I have a launch, there are customers that are interested in buying. So many people are more reactive instead of proactive. And if you have a major launch or a major product that is coming out or a service, all of that starts months in advance. It can start anywhere from 6 months to a year to 2 years out, depending on what your service or your product is. And so you have to start planting seeds now, meaning that you're putting out content, that you're giving sneak peeks, that you're creating value so that you're attracting your ideal clients. So that way, when that time comes that you want to do a launch, you have people that are interested and wanting to buy. And then what processes do you need to put in place so that your customers have a great experience? That comes again from being prepared. And what do you need to put in your business so that way when a customer decides to inquire with you, how do you respond? When they decide to purchase from you, how do you respond? Then how do you respond to them during the time of their purchase, depending if that's a short or long time period? And then how do you respond to them after they have received that product or that service? But setting a process and preparing yourself for all of that makes it so much easier for when good things happen to you and come your way. And then what systems do you need to create to have your team excel? That's a big gap that I see with small businesses is they bring someone on board, whether it's an employee or whether it's an independent contractor or freelancer, but they don't have systems and processes in place to help that person excel in their role, or they don't know what they want from that person. Like, for example, if it's an independent contractor, to clearly communicate the goals of the project so that person can excel at their project and deliver. And that all comes back to you setting yourself up for success, doing the preparation, doing the work. And I find that you are most productive when you plan ahead and you prepare, because then you get to choose what you do with your time instead of giving up valuable time where you then have to react. So again, plan ahead so you don't lose time in the reactionary phase. The next element is the priority management. And I hear so many people complain about needing more time and needing to get better at time management. And I disagree. It's not time management, it's priority management. So my biggest question for you is, what is important to you? Because what I have found in life, and this is personally and professionally, we all make time for the things that are most important to us. And I'm sure you've noticed that if there's family members that you adore, that you love, if there is personal hobbies or projects or work things that you're really passionate about, you always find time for that. Even if it's 5 minutes just to check in, to do something for that, or to acknowledge somebody. And so the same thing applies in business. What's important to you, you will make time for. So it's about priority management. And what I also notice is that many business owners, they get stuck in the cycle of busyness. And what I mean by busyness is that they're doing mundane tasks that don't produce an outcome. They're staying busy for the sake of saying that they're busy, that they're doing something. But are those tasks really producing results that help move your business forward? Or they're also doing tasks that are fun and easy because they don't require large effort. A lot of the tasks, whether it's like the fun, creative, marketing stuff, that's all great. But if it's not getting you sales, it doesn't mean anything. And to move a business forward, you have to have income coming in. And pretty stuff doesn't produce income. Content and helping people and servicing people and making sure that you have a product that works and delivers, that's what brings in customers, and that's what brings in repeat customers and referrals. And so what are tasks that you can do to improve what you're offering so that way you get a return on your time? And then also, in addition, the last thing in the stuck of busyness is we get so stuck in being reactive to customers and vendors. And it's all, again, about preparing yourself and putting systems and processes in place so that you are setting proper expectations on the front end. So that way customers and vendors know what to do or what to expect. So that way everyone has a positive working relationship. And when you have that, you don't lose time to problem solving, to reacting to problems that arise, because you already have systems in place to manage that. Or in the event that a problem does arise, because we're human, things happen, you've planned ahead, so you know how to handle that curveball and you know how to respond. And so then you have less time that's wasted because you already have a plan B in place to respond accordingly. And so this ties into my next point. Position yourself for success so that you can put yourself ahead of the curve. And that means placing a priority on the things that will move you forward. So I have these questions for you. Where do you want your business to go? How much time are you spending on growing your business a week? I noticed that a lot of us spend more time working in our business, meaning on the maintenance part, than we do spending on growing our business, meaning thinking ahead, thinking big picture of, okay, what do I need to do now so that I will see results 3 months from now, or that I'll see results 6 months from now? Because it's all about positioning. How much time are you spending building relationships and talking to your customers and your vendors? It's one thing to keep your head down, but you have to get up above the water and breathe and talk to people, because that's where you get the clarity. You can, and we talked about this in a mastermind recently, is you can do all of the thinking and preparation and planning on your own, but if you don't get out there and if you're not talking to your customers, if you're not talking to your vendors, that's where the clarity comes. That's where you learn, okay, what do I need to refine? What do I need to review? What do I need to revise? What do I need to get rid of in order for this to work? And how much time are you spending improving your existing offerings? So I said this before, it's really important that once we put something out there, that we're continuing to make it better. And there are lots of great successful business owners that do this every year, whether they're putting out a new planner and they're getting feedback from their customers to say, okay, did you like the layout? Did you like the paperweight? Did you like the thickness? So that way, when you use a writing utensil, it doesn't bleed through the paper. Listening to your customers, asking your customers what they like, what they don't like, that is the quickest way to grow and help you improve your business. I'm such a big supporter of customer surveys. You've heard me talk about it before, and I will continue to talk about it, because when you're a small business owner, that feedback, that rapport that you get from your customers, and candid feedback, and a lot of times that's generated from anonymous surveys, is so valuable to your growth. And then how much time are you spending positioning your business to adapt to the market for the next year? And what I mean by that question is, a lot of times we are very successful in the beginning and we expect the exact same results when we put forth the exact same effort later in our business and as our business grows. However, the problem with that is, as time progresses, we have more competitors, we have more challenges within our business, more customers, and so it requires a different version of us. And so we cannot expect to do the same things and get the same results year after year after year. So what can you do now to position yourself for next year, so that way you're adapting and evolving with the market and with your customers and what they desire and what they need? And that, again, requires you to step back, prepare, and plan. And on that planning part, I also hear a lot of business owners say that they don't have time to review their business or plan ahead. And what I want to make sure that you're aware of is, if you don't make time for it now, then you will be forced by the market to have time later when your business hits a roadblock. And that's the worst. That's the most frustrating. That's when a lot of business owners can either give up or become extremely frustrated and make rash decisions instead of being rational, and they do things that they wouldn't have had to do if they planned ahead. So again, I want to repeat that. The problem is, if you do not make time now to review your business as far as what you're doing well, what hasn't gone well, where you need to make improvements, and where you want your business to go, then you will be forced later, when the market makes you have time because you don't have the sales, because you don't have the results that you desire, to then make time to review your business. So get ahead of that. Make time for it now. It's so important for you. Position yourself for a smoother ride by making it a priority to use your time now to help your business grow. And then the last part of today's conversation is positive behaviors that contribute to productivity. So a lot of these behaviors are things that I have in my life that I've been doing all my professional career, probably from about when I was 19. But I've seen results from them. And so that's why I'm sharing them with you, is because they've really contributed to where I'm at in business now, but also allowed me to be successful in multiple industries because they're fundamental things that anybody can incorporate. So the first one is creating routines. Routines are so important. I know sometimes it can be perceived as boring, but doing the same task at the same time every day makes it so much easier to accomplish it, because then you don't have to think about it. And we really need to conserve our energy and our brain power for more important things, for more important issues that come up where we have to do problem solving and critical thinking. And if we waste that decision-making time on what we need to do, then we take it away from where we need it later. So that's why it's encouraged to create routines where as soon as you get up in the morning, you know you're going to do this. Like, it's called muscle memory, and then there's also brain memory, where if you are repeatedly doing the same things at the same time, you don't even think twice about it because it becomes a habit. It's the same as climbing upstairs or riding a bicycle. Your body knows exactly what it needs to do. So create routines for your business. The next thing is being organized. So crucial. I hear a lot of people, especially creatives, talk about chaos, and I think beautiful things can be created from chaos. However, you have two responsibilities, and especially if you're a business owner, you have to be organized, because when you're organized, it allows you to quickly find things. It reduces stress, again, because like I said earlier, your brain doesn't have to work as hard to find something, and it allows you to put forth your best self and your best effort. So some of the habits that I do to support that is every day I have a clean desk. That way, the next morning I have a fresh start to the day. I know where everything's at, and it just adds to that mental clarity, which you need as a business owner. And that's a habit that's been instilled in me since I was probably 20. I had an amazing boss who is now a mentor, that she would not let us leave the office until our desks were cleaned for the day. And it didn't make a lot of sense to me at the time, but now I appreciate it. And over the years, I continued that. And I also made sure that my teams did that as well, because I saw the positive outcome and the productivity that increased because of that. So I encourage you to do that. Make sure your office and your desk is cleaned. It makes it so much easier for you to be productive and reduce stress. The next thing is use a planner. I don't care if it's digital, if it's paper, whatever it is, use a planner to stay organized. And I use a combination of both. I have a paper planner because I like checking things off. It's a quirk that I have, but it works for me. But then also I have a digital calendar that I use, so that way when I'm on the go, I can quickly look at my phone and I can see what I need to do or where I need to be and all the details for that. I have specific days of the week for tasks. So for example, on Mondays, I do business coaching. So if anybody that inquires or does coaching with me, it's all scheduled on Mondays. I block that out specifically for business coaching, so that way my frame of mind and my productivity is all focused on that. Same with email prep. So I have a weekly newsletter that goes out on Tuesdays. I do all that email prep on Mondays as well. I block time out specifically for that, and I have a template for that. I do blogging on Tuesdays, so that way the blog post can go live on Wednesday. My masterminds are scheduled specifically for the 3rd and 4th Tuesdays of every month. So that way I know to block that time out for those masterminds. And then I read business articles on Saturday morning because it's relaxed, it's low key. I make time for that. With each of those tasks, so for example, the business coaching, the email prep, the blogging, I have templates for all of those things. So on the business coaching, I have a template or an agenda for my coaching call. What am I going to discuss? What kinds of questions do I need to ask, and what notes do I need to take. So that way I'm prepared every single time that I have that coaching call, and it can go smoothly and easily, and I'll get the information that I need in order to provide the best service for my clients. Email prep. I have a template that I use for my weekly newsletter, so that way my subscribers know exactly what to expect from me. They are familiar with the layout, so they know exactly where to look, what to read, but also it is similar to my website. So again, it's all about branding, but it also makes it easier for me to get those out and get those out quickly, and I don't have to overthink it. It's just copy, paste, write, insert, change out images, or copy meaning words if you're not familiar with that term. But set yourself up for success in making things easier for yourself. The same with blogging. I use the exact same template for my interviews on women founders. I ask the exact same questions, I use the exact same cover image, and then I switch out the post images with their pictures and with their quotes. So again, it's easy for me, but also my reader knows exactly what to expect and where to find things, and it's easier for them and for their time. So I really encourage you to make use of templates. It makes your life easier, as well as the planner. You can see my planner here. I'm a huge fan of the Day Designer. You've seen it probably in a lot of my Instagram posts. So I have the top 3 things that I want to accomplish tomorrow for Monday. I have appointments that I have tomorrow that are set, and then I have tasks that I want to accomplish. And then this is my niece, a little post-it note. So again, all about being organized and planning ahead. Email, I feel like I'm very successful at email because I've been doing it for so many years, and especially working in corporations where I'm working with so many different departments and being mid-management. Not only am I getting emails from my team, but I'm also getting emails from C-level and from different department heads. And so when you're in the middle, you're responsible for a lot of things. So it's really important that you quickly get organized, so that way you are helping people and you're being effective in your job. So emails, I use the FAT system. Means file, act, trash. So immediately when an email comes into my inbox, and different people have different times where they check it, I check email pretty regularly throughout the day, and so that way I'm on top of it. But file, if it's something that doesn't need a response and it's just something that is for your information or your knowledge, then I immediately file it into a folder. And I'll go through that in a little bit as far as how my folders are set up. And then if it requires an action and I can immediately respond, then I do so. And if it's trash, such as spam, because it still comes through, then I trash that. Any remaining emails, so for example, emails that I need to take action on, but they require a little bit more thought or require physical labor, something where I can't quickly shoot out a response, then those are going to be tagged by category. And categories for me are emails that need to be reviewed, meaning that I need to go review a document or I need to sign off on something. Sign off meaning like I need to review a contract or whatever the case may be, or if it's an email that I need to read later. So sometimes business articles are emailed to me and I want to read them, so I will tag that to a read later column. And then also emails that require follow-up, meaning I've sent out an email and I've blind carbon copied myself to make sure that I know that it's still out there and I need a response, then I have that in my inbox as well. But that's important to me again, so making sure that I stay on top of things. And then with emails, I am very direct, so it's easy for the recipient to respond. That's so important. I think that there's a lot of poorly sent emails out there, and emails, because our inboxes are so valuable, because it's part of our time, I want to make it as easy as possible for the reader, for the recipient to take action for the thing that I need from them. And so what I do is in the subject line, I include immediately if it needs a response or I need an action, then I put that in all caps, and then I put the subject of the email right after it. If it needs action, then I put a date for it. So that way, when it's sitting in somebody else's inbox, they immediately know, okay, this is something that's more important than anything else. Not anything else, but other things that are in my inbox and they need a response by this date. So that way they know that they can plan accordingly. And that's really helpful. So again, you're getting responses and you're working together as a team. And then in the first paragraph of that email, I am very direct about exactly what I need and when I need it by. And typically I'll bold that statement just so that it stands out from all the rest of the text in the email. And then in the email altogether, I typically don't have any more than 3 paragraphs, and each paragraph is no more than 2 to 3 lines. I go by the KISS, keep it simple. That way it's easy again for them to consume because everybody's busy. Everybody has so many things to read. I want to make it easy for them to consume, take action, get a response so that we both can be about our day. And then also in that email, I include any links or files so that they can easily take action. And I heard this from a PR company a couple years ago and it really made sense. But links are so much easier to send than large files because then it doesn't clog up somebody's inbox and they can access it later. So that's a small tip that I want to share. In regards to filing, so I've applied the same filing system to both my emails and to all of my files on my Google Drive is I create folders by business category. So for me, that looks like business development, customer service, events, marketing, IT, legal, sales, website, vendors. Those are some of the big categories. But that way it's super easy for me to quickly know where I filed something. And then also when I outsource or when I have team members or I share files, that they know exactly where to find that information as well. So that part really helps in, again, staying organized so that way I can be most effective in my work. And then in the name of the files, I will do, if it's about a person, so for example, if it's a resume, then I'll put resume dash last name, first name, and then the date. Because then you have the subject, you know exactly what type of file it is, you know who it's for, and then when you alphabetize your files, you can easily find the name and then the date. So that way, if they've sent more than one, you can find the most current one. And I understand that there's a file date if you look at the details of the file. However, I like to add a date because I'm detailed like that. But how you name your files is also really important and how you find them later. So I always do subject, detail, and date if necessary. I don't put dates on everything, but I do dates on, for example, like coaching calls. I will put coaching call and then client's name and then the date. So that way when I'm looking at a group of files, I can easily identify, okay, which is the last call that we had, and I can pull that up and review it. And then the last tip for today for positive behaviors that contribute to productivity is staying in alignment with your core values. And what I mean by that is saying no to opportunities, tasks, relationships, and products or services that will not move your business forward. One of the first things that I ask coaching clients and people that I work with is, what are your business values? Because those can quickly tell you what that person is about, what's important to them, and do we align? And then the choices that are made, do they align with those core values? And for me, I have 5 values within my business, and it helps me make smarter decisions when I am looking at marketing opportunities, when I am choosing to purchase a new product or service, and then when I am offered collaboration opportunities or asked to participate in things, I look and say, okay, does this make sense for my business? Does this align with my values? Does this position me in a place that I want to be in the future? I think too many times we get caught up in the now and we're like, oh, we're so flattered that this great opportunity came our way, and we automatically say yes without thinking it through. And I think a lot of times we would do better service to ourselves and to the people that we work with is if we pause before we say yes and say, okay, does this really align with my business? Will this help me move forward? Does it make sense? And then saying yes or no. And on the no part, so many people find it difficult to say no because they're afraid of offending somebody else. It really will empower you as a business owner, the more comfortable you can be with saying no. No is such a powerful word, and no gives you room to do other things that come your way that are going to be more beneficial, more important, that will have greater results. But also too, you can say no with grace. Just because you say no now doesn't mean that you can't have that opportunity in the future. I think that's the biggest thing, is a lot of times we're afraid that we're going to miss out on something that could be good for us, but sometimes the timing is off. And so be clear in that. If now is not a good time, if you are too busy, communicate that and say, this would be a better time for you to reach back, or no, I'm not a good fit for you, but however, this is someone that I know that would be a good fit for you. So there's a way to say no that you can handle it gracefully and still maintain that relationship. But also, on the flip side, know that the word no is a full sentence by itself. You do not have to explain yourself. So, no. And that's it. So, if you have any questions for me on productivity as far as the different things that I went over today, whether it's preparing for success and preparation, whether it's the priorities and how you choose what's most important, or whether it's the positive behaviors and habits that I've set up, feel free to leave the comments in below. And also, I will be on Instagram Live later this afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, Little Black Desk Society, so you're welcome to catch me over there and send a DM. And I hope that you will join us on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we have our quarterly goal planning for our mastermind members, and we would love to have you join our membership. You can use the link above in the description and go to littleblackdesksociety.com/membership and learn about membership. And we have both local and virtual masterminds, the same format for both communities, and we would love to have you join us for the last 3 months of the year. If you have any questions, again, feel free to leave them below or DM me. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Enjoy your Sunday.